I, 29 female, and my husband, 33 male, are a blended family. I have a little son from a previous relationship and get along great with my ex, who provides so much for our son. He's a great dad. My husband has a toddler daughter, and together we have a newborn daughter. My stepdaughter's mom is not in her life at all and signed away her rights due to sugar issues, so she lives with us full time. After my daughter was born, I became a stay-at-home mom to take care of my kids, discussed when I was pregnant, and I did mean to take care of her, but postpartum had been so bad, I have changed what I originally anticipated. My husband works and provides for the family financially. When I became a stay-at-home mom, my husband assumed that I would take care of all the kids, including his daughter. At the time, 100% agreed. He said that he was clear when we dated that his daughter did not have a mother, and he wanted whoever he married to take on a full parental role, especially since her mom did not want to show her that she was deserving of a mother's love. I agreed to this, and agreed since I met her when she was a baby. However, now after having a baby, I want to take care of my kids because I'm so overwhelmed and would like my husband's family to watch my stepdaughter. My husband is furious at me and says he provides for the whole family, and I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. He said I agreed to take care of my stepdaughter and treat her as my own when we dated. I said that things have changed. He argued with me, saying that he provides for my son, and I countered, saying that his dad does a lot for him. My husband got upset with me and said he knows he has a great dad, but still takes care of him and treats him like he's his own son. He accused me of being an evil stepmom and hating his daughter. I do not hate his daughter. I'm just overwhelmed with 3 little kids. Note, I had a traumatic birth and suffer from PPD, so this is not a permanent request of mine. My ex helps out more than usual with our son because of this. So, am I the idiot for only wanting my stepdaughter to be home when my husband is there? You are the idiot. You don't get to pick and choose that you'll take care of your children only when you married a man who has a child and no other parent around. You're straight up saying that you don't think of your stepdaughter as your daughter. Don't be shocked if he divorces you over this. If this is real, OP, get some help. You need medical intervention immediately. This is not okay. You are not okay. By OP's logic, OP's husband shouldn't be providing for her son. This is absolutely downright ridiculous. Like, what? OP, you choose to marry someone with a kid from a previous relationship and blend your families. If you can't treat that girl the same as your biological children, get divorced, because that poor little girl most certainly doesn't deserve an evil stepmother. You are the idiot. Yeah, you are the idiot, OP. You agreed to step up and be a primary caregiver. Then you backed out after you quit working. He's supporting you and in turn provides support to your son. He did so expecting that you'd also help with his daughter. You may be having postpartum depression, and if so, go to your doctor. Yeah, I think you're framing this completely wrong. It's not that you want to break from your daughter. It's that you want a temporary break from both your children because you are experiencing PPD and aren't coping well. It's just that your son's dad is already providing you with that break. This PPD is coloring the lens you view everything through. I'm wondering if you worded this so badly because you want to be called the idiot to perpetuate the wallowing / give your depression something to feed on. Please don't let your depression distort this, and please try to communicate well with your husband. I know it's hard, but he loves you, and how you word things really matters. All the best. Update. Am I the idiot for not wanting to be responsible for my stepdaughter? I talked to my husband when he came home, and he agreed I needed more help. I told him that I love my stepdaughter the same, and that I'm overwhelmed, and he told me he knows, and just got stressed with stepdaughter's history with her bio mom. I asked if he could hire a nanny, and he wants to save money for a new house in the district where my ex lives because the schools are better, and he wants it to be easier for my son to go between houses when he's older, so he struggles less with having to switch homes. He's just the best husband. I called my mom and she's coming to help me for a few months with all my kids, and my husband's in-laws are going to come over and help as well and take the kids out. My husband is taking a week off of work to get everything settled. I also plan on having one-on-one time with both of the older kids, and my husband and I plan on having a date tomorrow while the kids are at his parents' home. so that we get a night off. Lastly, I want to say that I love my stepdaughter with my whole heart. I will never stop being grateful that my little girl calls me mama. I will never forget the honor I get of being her mom. I am going back to the doctor tomorrow because I clearly need more help. LP, any woman who willingly and lovingly takes on a daughter not birthed by herself is awesome. You have PPD on top of having recently given birth. Understandable you felt overwhelmed. Glad of the info and the update. Your husband could have briefly been the idiot, but y'all talked it out, and family all coming together to help get things rolling. Happy for your blended family. OP made it crystal clear that she doesn't view her stepdaughter as one of her own, and the little update is nothing more than backtracking from looking like a total piece of crap. We all get being overwhelmed, and I can only imagine how tough it must be with 3 young ones. But OP made it a point to praise her ex and how he cares for her son, and then talks about her new baby. The stepdaughter is in the way. This isn't PPD talking. This is a stay-at-home mom who wants her happy family that doesn't include some other woman's kid. That update is phony. I hope her husband sees right through it for the sake of that little girl. My wife, Sarah, is a senior surgeon and works very long hours. We discovered very recently that she's pregnant. While we were both delighted, it didn't take long for us to decide that I would be the one to take time off to look after the baby, as she is by far the higher earner. I work in maintenance, so I'm still going to work. However, I work long hours too and crazy shift patterns, including nights and weekends. Because of that and because everything is shut, we haven't spent much time together. I do most of the cooking at home because I'm a better cook than her, and she doesn't really like cooking anyway. However, I got home yesterday, and she made me my favorite meal. More than that, she was fully dressed up. I'm talking evening gown, heels, hair fully done, etc. She looked so beautiful I wanted to marry her all over again. However, I was tired. I'd been working a 12-hour shift and just wanted to relax. So I threw on a tracksuit and a t-shirt, and when I came downstairs, she was obviously disappointed. She asked if I wasn't going to dress up, and I said I was tired and just wanted to eat. It was quite awkward between us for the rest of the meal, and when it was done, she went upstairs and said, "Remind me never to make an effort again." Later, as I was going to bed, I heard her crying in the spare room. I went in to comfort her, but she told me to go away and leave her alone. Look, I know it must have been sad for her to get dressed up and for me not to do it, but I've been working all day doing heavy physical work and just wanted to relax. I know Sarah loves getting dressed up and wearing beautiful clothes, and the pregnancy might mean fewer chances to do that, but she kind of surprised me with this. If we'd planned a date where we could both get dressed up and have a nice meal, I would have happily taken part, but I was tired and didn't have the energy. Am I the idiot? Sorry, you are the idiot. You change clothes anyway. It takes roughly the same energy to throw on slacks and a nice shirt as it did to throw on a tracksuit and a t-shirt. After all the efforts your wife went to, the few extra seconds it would take to button up a dress shirt wouldn't have killed you. Oh boy, I agree 100% with this. Your wife went out of her way to do something nice. I know what it's like to be dog-tired after a long shift, but if I was in your shoes, I'd have hopped in the shower and put a shirt on afterward. It's 10 minutes of effort compared to the hour or more your missus put in. You are the idiot, mate. I'd apologize and take her out for a nice meal. Just don't wear your tracky bottoms again. This exactly. OP, your wife is a pregnant surgeon. I know her hours are at least equal to, if not longer than yours. I'm guessing she's also on call. Her job almost certainly has more stress, and she has pregnancy fatigue and hormones on top of that. Putting that all aside, even if she had no job, what you did was not excusable. You're telling your pregnant, stressed, and tired wife, who's still operating every day, that she's not even worth that. I have to ask, what were you expecting to happen? You essentially slapped her in the face and then asked her why she was upset. You are the idiot times 1,000. Not the idiot. I've done this to my wife for no reason. Just put on some nice clothes, make a fun or extravagant dinner, and then hope she'd immediately join me at that level. Then she gets home and isn't necessarily in that headspace. Do I feel bummed? Yes. Does she owe me to acquiesce? Definitely not. Getting dressed up isn't always comfortable if you're not into it, or if you have some dress clothes you rarely break out. I really don't get all those "you are the idiot" comments. I mean, if the roles were reversed, like in your case, would they still feel the same? Maybe then it's always toxic behavior, and the husband tries to force the wife to do something. It's a bit biased. And I don't get all that about the clothes. If he had changed into really nice clothes, would the dinner be more enjoyable only because of beautiful clothes? Would he have been more awake and in a better mood? Don't we need consent for things we do together? Don't we need two people happy instead of one? I, male teen, always answer in class every time the teacher asks the class a question, and I make sure to give a thorough answer. My teacher has lately started to seem annoyed at me for answering her questions and speaking up. Then in class, I raised my hand when she asked a question, and it seemed like she called on me, so I started answering. She cut me off very sharply and nastily said, "We're going to let someone else have a chance at answering this time." She was so rude, and I was too angry to focus after that, and spent the rest of the class just silently seething about it. Every class after that for the past days, whenever she asks her little questions and no one raises their hands, I just stare at her and smile and say nothing. She asked a question today, and no one raised their hand at all, and I just stared at her and didn't raise my hand. She then said to me, "Oh, P, do you know the answer?" And I just smiled and said, "Sorry, I don't. I guess I'll just have to give someone else a chance at answering this time." And then I just smiled at her. She looked annoyed that I didn't come to the rescue like always. It was pretty satisfying. No one raised their hand and she just ended up saying the answer. My friend couldn't figure out why I wouldn't just say the answer. I said to him, she wanted me to be quiet and then got mad that I was. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. He said I'm petty. Am I the idiot for doing what she wanted? You are the idiot. She said one time that she wanted to give someone else a chance to answer, which is part of her job, making sure everyone has a chance to participate. And you've been sulking about it for days? Grow up. Your friend is right. You are being petty. Just FYI, I had a class with someone like you in high school. Everyone thought the kid was incredibly annoying and pompous. You aren't answering any questions to benefit your classmates' education. You're taking over the entire discussion to stroke your own ego. Your answers aren't thorough. They're excessive and draining. They get it. You know the material better than they do. You're not even allowing them the opportunity to try, or to at least be pressured into guessing to evoke some thought. Acquiring knowledge and remembering a fact can be a process of trial and error. Your teacher shouldn't have been nasty towards you, but you need to humble yourself and give other people a chance. The way you behave isn't as big of a flex as you think. Everyone's the idiot, but mainly you. My employer has given the employees the choice of working at home or going into the office. Personally, I feel that it is safer to stay at home, given what is still going on, and it's about half and half of my coworkers who have decided to stay home or go to the office. The problem and conflict is that I often have 2 or 3 one-hour Zoom meetings a day. I use headphones, but I do talk during part of them. I close the door, but the noise bothers my husband, who's in the other room. He's also at home all day since he's unemployed. He keeps telling me that I'm selfish to stay home and bother him when I could choose to go to work in the office. And he says I'm just too lazy to go to the office and waves off my health concerns as paranoid. I do feel guilty because he gets really upset by the noise and says it's hard for him to focus on stuff he's reading when he hears me talking. Am I wrong? Should I go into the office a few days a week? I know I should tell my husband to look for a job, but he told me he doesn't want to until the global issue is over, which is a bit weird since he says I'm paranoid about it. Overall, he makes me feel guilty a lot, which is why I come on here. Lately, he's been getting upset that our place isn't clean enough. We don't sleep in the same room, but he comes in and inspects my room every day. And today he was upset about the noise again. Not the idiot. I'm sorry. This man expects you to fulfill all the household tasks on top of being the sole breadwinner, and he constantly ridicules and bullies you? I'm so sorry you have to deal with such a child. OP, you deserve better. Yeah. That and he won't get a job because of what's going on in the world, but she's paranoid? He inspects her room? He complains about cleanliness and is annoyed by her voice during meetings when she's the only one working. Just wow. LOL, this man is unemployed, stays home and reads, and calls you lazy for not going into the office and bothering him? Tell him to go to the library if he wants to read. He needs the space for the mental gymnastics he's doing to encourage OP to go to the office because she's just paranoid about the global situation. But somehow, the global situation is too concerning for him to find work. I need to wonder whether it's a lifelong experience of being treated this way that has conditioned OP to accept this as okay. Like, was she and her mother servants to her lazy father and siblings? Unreal. OP abusers manipulate emotions so well that you can feel like you're the one with the issues. Hopefully this is a wake-up call that you deserve better. Honey, listen to me. You are being used by your husband. You don't deserve to be treated like a doormat. He doesn't contribute to bills. He doesn't contribute to the home. I know the word gets thrown out a lot on here, but he's abusing you. He's breaking down your self-esteem and making you question yourself. You don't deserve to be treated this way. Try looking for some therapy to help you get past this abuse and manipulation. This isn't right, and it's not normal to be treated like this. My 28 male, wife 28 female, wakes up really late, 8:30 a.m., because of watching TV until 3 a.m., because of which she's always late to her work, which starts at 9. Her work is a 20-minute drive from our home. Today I was getting late for work as it is, and she wasn't waking up. I had already prepared her breakfast and lunch and was waiting for her to get dressed so we could leave, but she was still in bed at 8:30 a.m., so I gave up on trying to wake her up and left for my job, which is at 9:15. My work is a 40-minute drive from home. When I came home, she started yelling at me because she was fired for repeatedly being late to work. I told her it wasn't my fault, and if she had enough self-control to sleep early and wake up early, this would have never happened. She's not talking to me, and she left for a parent's home. We had her consult a physician and a sleep specialist. He said it was just sleep procrastination, and she probably doesn't feel tired enough at the end of the day to fall asleep easily. He advised her to exercise, but I don't try to enforce it on her because I don't want her to think she's fat or doesn't look good. She still hasn't started doing it, despite multiple physicians saying the same thing when we go for a consultation. So am I the idiot for her getting fired? Not the idiot. Let her stay at the parents' house. The fact that she went home to mommy over her own actions tells me there is more going on than just chronic lateness. You didn't get her to that point. She's clearly not adult enough to be married. Good luck on the divorce. My last boyfriend had an ex-wife who did this. Turns out she drank after he went to bed each night, and he wasn't aware because she never really drank around him, and he went to bed early because of his job and got up early and left before she did. She hid the bottles and took the trash out when she left in the morning. By the time he was aware, she was in liver failure. He was, of course, checked out by then because they spent so little time together. It may not be the same, but there's a reason she stays up like that every night when she's in jeopardy at work. OP, it sounds like you're dealing with more of a child than a wife, and it sounds like you do a lot of catering to her, which is not going to allow her to grow up and be responsible for herself. She needs to get up on time and prepare her own meals for the day and get to work on time. You are not responsible for her, nor should you be taking care of her as if she's not capable.